So we'll keep going. So welcome guys to the Recruiting Academy podcast. I'm your host, Coach Holman, joined by the beloved Coach Hughes. Coach Hughes, man, you got a nugget of the day to get us started today?
Well, no, actually, I have a nugget, but we were talking about finances of college football. Our last podcast, we got into that, and and the one thing I wanted to say is the fact that um, you have a way of saying like it's not free, and to sort of understand like some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes is um you're looking at all this money that is flowing around, but like assistants don't make a lot. And you can ask a grad assistant what it's like to work almost 100 hours a week. I mean, a good friend of mine, he did that for, I think, Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky, one of those. And I mean, for 2 years, I mean, that dude, they worked him like crazy. I mean, he was clocking 100 hours a week because not only is he doing football, he's still taking classes. People don't understand that. Like, you're still taking your master's classes because if you're a grad assistant, you're still in school.
Mm.
So even though you might get your grad assistance for so-called, you know, free, really, it's not. I mean, you put in a lot of hours doing a lot of behind the scenes work. And I worked in the film room, and that's a lot of work. And you look at like all these ESPN clips and all this stuff, and it's some poor young dude out of college making minimum wage cutting up all these clips. And with computers, it makes it easier. And everybody sees Huddle and all that stuff, but it's still like a lot of work. I know, like even in high school, I worked, probably 20 extra hours a week just on film breakdown and doing different things. So, um, the biggest thing is I can tell someone that if you're going to college, have a plan of what you want to do. But if it's sports, be prepared that a lot of stuff is going to go on and there's not much money in it. So that's sort of my nugget for the day is, you might want to play your athletics and then think about a career of like going into pre-med or doing something that, you know, pays money, because athletics just doesn't. And it's crazy because it's not like they couldn't pay you, or even pay you something, because you're working a lot of hours and they're making, millions of dollars. So that's sort of my nugget for the week.
No, you bring up a good point there in regards to college coaches making large amounts of money, uh, more than maybe more than your parents, maybe more than depending on what state you're in, maybe more than the mayor, the senator, the governor, or whoever it may be. So with that being said, since we are in the second week of talking about the business of college athletics, it's very, very important to understand that that coaches a lot of the times are in situations where they may or may not offer you because they know if you don't pan out, that is basically their livelihood, right? So if you're listening and you're a parent, you'll take this to heart and understand that if you do something on your job that causes the company or the organization to lose money, that results in your job being lost, right? So to bring this back to athletics and recruiting and stuff like that, so you may have a situation where, a lot of times kids don't, man, it's tough to get that first offer. But man, once you get that first offer, other schools start to offer, right? And that's why it was important that we talked about last week in regards to, um, you know, don't despise the day of small beginnings, because those small schools are ones that could, we mentioned the MAC and some of the other conferences that'll offer you first. But that segues to, a bigger school or other schools to say, hey, they offer this kid, so we should offer him, right? And that takes the pressure off of other schools or other coaches because now they can say, well, hey, because a lot of times the head coach can veto obviously any kid being offered and such like that. So, with that being said, the coach can go back and say, hey, head coach might. So let's say, for instance, I'm a head coach. Jason is one of my assistant coaches, which pretty much he's an assistant coach for what we do, but he's an assistant. He said, "Hey, Coach Holman, I want to offer this kid a scholarship out of it's a woman, a girl. I want to offer this girl a volleyball scholarship. She's out of Texas. So I might say, hey, okay, cool. Let me see this person. All right, cool. Does she have any offers, right? So Coach Hughes might say, nah, she don't have any offers, but I want to offer it first. And then I might come back and say, nah, you can't offer her until she has other offers, right? And this happens so much in the business and this whole college football recruiting thing. Excuse me, not college football, but this college recruiting thing, in regards to that. They're not gonna offer you. They may listen, a coach on the staff may want to offer you so bad, but since the head coach is basically has vetoed that and said, hey, we you can't offer this kid until somebody else's offer, right? That covers their bases and say, well, hey, listen, they got offers, okay, offer them more. So that's why you see, and go on Twitter right now, right? You'll see a kid get offered by one school, male or female get offered by one school, and then next thing you know, they got like 3 or 4 offers in the same day. It's because of that sequence that I just talked about. Oh, okay, and that's why coaches follow a lot of times follow kids because they want to see, okay, who's offered this kid, what they're doing, and stuff like that. So that's why it's very, very important to make sure your social media is on point. So then that way, coaches when they come, and this is the biggest thing. I'm gonna give a gym here. I know this is a side note. I'm gonna give a gym here. I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about. But here's a gym. A lot of times, coaches are are you have your Twitter page set up, and you have all this stuff that you retweeting that ain't got nothing to do with you and what you trying to do. You got stuff about this person, what's going on in society, all this like stuff, right? Man, keep your page in regards to like what your profession is and leave it at that. Like don't be retweeting like all this other stuff. Um like I'm gonna say this. I mean, it's cool you sharing other people's stuff, but like your stuff, if I go on your page, it needs to be the majority of your stuff, right? At the end of the day. But back to this thing. So a lot of times you'll have organizations that or coaches that say, okay, hey, he got offers. Okay. So you might just get offered by a school. Now that coach that wants to offer you may say, okay, hey coach, I'm just circling back. You said I can offer this kid once he gets offered. He just got offered by such and such. Can we go and offer? Yes. So you'll see a kid. I promise you, it happens all the time. A kid will have like he'll get offered by one school, and then like he'll have 4 offers in one day, and it's kind of like how did that happen? It happened because of that sequence in regards to that. Coach Hughes, you got anything to add to that? In regards to kind of just what I was talking about there.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like for a fact because I was at a max school and that was always a frustrating thing is like you find this great athlete and chances are once you offer them, then the Big Ten or someone else is going to jump in, the SEC or something is going to jump in because they're waiting for you to give them that kid the offer. Once they see the MAC giving that offer, then they start, then the things just start coming in after that from everywhere. Now, obviously, like your big schools like Florida, Alabama, Ohio State, a lot of them recruit themselves. Kids want to go there and they're willing to do whatever they need to do to go there. But I mean, like being at Ball State, like a lot of times, Indiana would offer or Purdue would offer. I mean, obviously Notre Dame and Indiana, I mean, it has its own way of recruiting and, kids want to go there, but, usually that's those schools sort of competing for the better athlete, but yeah, I mean, it happens. And I always tell kids too, like, don't be afraid to go to these smaller school camps because the coaches switch jobs all the time. So you might like a coach and he's somewhere, might be at, and I know the story here is that there was a coach who was in Michigan, tried out a guy, and he wound up getting a job at like a Division 3 school, where then the kid followed the coach to the Division 3 school because guy was the head coach instead of an assistant.
Mm.
So, keep that in mind too, as you're going through this with these coaches, where you want to go to and who's offering you, because a coach might leave, let's say Ball State, we use Ball State because I graduated from there, and he's going somewhere else. Well, then they might turn around and offer you too, just because of the assistant coach. So, I mean, there's just a lot of different factors in it. But yeah, Coach Holman, you're right. It's just once the small schools start getting involved, especially the MAC, then the other schools start getting involved. And I know one time I got woke up from Oregon State, like at midnight, because it was 8 o'clock out there. I want to talk about a recruit. And because he had been offered MAC scholarships here in Ohio. I don't know how he found out there, but he did. And here we go. So things happen.
Yeah, it's all a sequence. People don't understand. I had a conversation with an athlete today about making sure that you leverage the relationships that you have. So whether that be a coach, a teammate, or whatever it may be. If you're an underclassman, this is another gym. Write this down. If you're an underclassman and you have an upperclassman that's being recruited, go on those recruiting trips with them. Get familiar with those coaches, because those people, like we said, they're all connected. At the end of the day, maybe a situation where they decide to go and be a part of another organization. That way, you can be in the loop. Be in the loop. They continue to have your contact information, and then allow you to basically, pick up the phone and reach out to you and have a conversation. But it's important to understand that, it's a situation where it's not that the coaches are sleeping on you. It's just the fact that you have nobody's offered you yet. So they're kind of just stuck in a position where they know if they offer you and it doesn't work out, not saying that it won't, but if it doesn't work out, like their livelihood can be changed, right? These coaches are making 90, 150, 200, 300, 400, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 900,000. Some making $1 million a year. Obviously, the assistant coaches are probably making, somewhere in that range. Some of the head coaches are making, mil, 3 mil, 6 mil, 9 mil, whatever a year. So you got to understand it's a huge business, and they're not gonna. They're looking for very minimal risk, high reward, right? That's how this system works. They want kids that they can bring in that are minimum risk, but can get them high rewards in regards to performance on the field, and check off all the boxes. Not to say that you don't check off all the boxes. It's just the fact that you don't have offers yet, and they're not gonna pull the trigger on you just because you don't have any offers yet. But hey, listen, just because you get offered don't mean they won't take your offer either. So just be mindful, just because you get offered don't mean they won't take it. So if you are an athlete listening to this, if you're a parent, just understand that you have to find your fit, right? That's what we talk about. On the Recruiting Academy platform. This platform, the online video course. If you have not checked that out, head over to www.holmanathleticperformance.com today and check it out. Scroll down to the free scholarship information. It'll take you right to where you need to be. You get a free 30-day trial. After that, I believe it's $7 a month, which is basically 1 cup of coffee at your local coffee shop. So very, very affordable. Make sure you also scroll down once you go through and you get signed up for the Recruiting Academy platform, video platform, that you scroll down and make sure you purchase the active work worksheets that were put together by me and Coach Hughes. It's in the ebook form, print it out. You'll be able to go through it as you're watching the videos, be able to fill out the information. We know when you write information down, it becomes permanent. When you write it repetitively, you're doing it over and over and over again, you're likely to remember and put those things into place, right? So make sure you head over to the website right now, www.holmanathleticperformance.com today, and scroll down to the free scholarship information. Also, if you got any questions, concerns, shoot us an email at info@holmanathleticperformance.com. Coach Hughes, give them the number real fast so they can reach out to us as well.
Okay, for the for our number there. Hold on here. I got it right here because I copied it to make sure I had it. My number is 614-639-5492.
Or give it to them again, please.
So if you have any questions, please call me 614-639-5492. So please leave a message. Do you have any questions or anything that you need to discuss? I'll be more than welcome back.
No, man. Yep. Make sure you guys follow. Listen, do not wait till the last minute. Okay. Do not, I repeat, do not wait until the last minute. All right. If you wait till the last minute, your options are shrinking down. Coach, you got anything to finish this out with me? Was that it?
Now, the one thing, let me say this real quick. So, we're not taking up too much time, is that the athlete needs to make sure that they talk with their parent. I always just told you the story about Oregon State, and I was talking to the parent and the kid, and his mom turned around and said, look, I don't want to go that far. Because those are Pac-12 games. It's clear out on the West Coast. We got to fly all the time. We want them closer. And so this has to be a family decision of how you want to do this, and make sure that you contact, or not just contact, but before you contact us, please, talk to a parent, so that way everyone's on the same page and we all know what's going on. And the communication is there between us and the parent and the athlete at any sport. We'll do any sports. So just make sure, the parents are involved and they understand what's going on, and as well as us. So there you go.
Then that wraps up the show, man. We'll see you guys next week. God bless. Peace.
Peace.